In Civ 6, Eleanor of Aquitaine can be the leader of both France and England. Why? Who was Eleanor? Let's get into history to answer all these questions. Eleanor of Aquitaine was, not surprisingly, born in the French Duchy of Aquitaine around 1122. It was among the largest domains in France and is also one of the richest regions of the kingdom due to its plantations of wine and strategic ports along the Atlantic shore. She was the daughter of William X, Duke of Aquitaine, and hence she would someday inherit a big fortune. And inherit a big fortune she did. In 1137, William died and Eleanor succeeded him as the Duchess of Aquitaine, and therefore she became super rich. And as we know, money equals power. Eleanor became one of the, if not the, most powerful and rich woman in medieval Europe, which in turn turned her into a very sought-after woman. So much so that in that same year, she married the heir presumptive to the French throne. Only 1 month later, King Louis VI of France died, making Eleanor's husband the new king with the creative name of Louis VII. As Queen Consort of France, Eleanor was a key figure at the side of the newly crowned king, being actively involved with her role, for instance by taking part in the Second Crusade against the Turkish invasion to Jerusalem. She remained as Queen Consort for 15 years until jealousy from the king's part ended up annulling the marriage in 1152. It's also often said that the lack of a male heir and the consanguinity, a common excuse in the epoch to get rid of a wife, also caused the breakup. If you would like a full video on the history behind Eleanor's abilities, please give a like and subscribe. After her breakup, Eleanor went back to Aquitaine, again as a free, powerful, rich and decided woman. But that last part wouldn't last for long, as just 2 months after her breakup with the King of France, she married the Duke of Normandy, who was also the grandson of Henry I, King of England. In 1154, Eleanor's husband succeeded his grandfather as King Henry II of England, with Eleanor again becoming Queen Consort. But there's more. Just like in France, her role was much more than a title. To begin with, she gave the king 8 children, 3 girls, and more importantly in those times, 5 sons. One of those sons would grow up to become Richard I, better known as Richard the Lionheart, and his brother would also be crowned king, King John, also known as John Lackland. In her role of Queen Consort, she carefully planned the marriage of her children into other European royal families in a similar fashion to Queen Victoria, with Eleanor even crossing the Alps in her 80s to marry one of her granddaughters to the son of the French king. But the most important event that happened during her life in the English court was the revolt carried out by her children against Eleanor's husband. Some historians even argue that it was Eleanor herself that kicked it off. This revolt failed and Eleanor was imprisoned, being released only after the king's death in 1189. Here her duties as queen greatly increased. She had to prepare her son to rule, and more importantly, she took the reins of the kingdom when Richard left to take part in the Crusades against a well-known leader for Civ players, Saladin. And there's even more. When Richard got captured while returning from the Crusades, it was Eleanor herself who collected the ransom and escorted him back to England. So you can see where this France and England thing comes from. Thanks for watching.